Hello, America and the world. Welcome to another Life After Lockup program. This is a program that is designed to show the public another side of the criminal justice system, hopefully to give hope to those of you that have loved ones incarcerated or those that are incarcerated and watching the program. I always want to inform you of the things that Life Community is doing in the city of Paducah, Kentucky. Every first Monday, we have what we call the ex-offender support group. For anyone that's an ex-offender that wants to come to get support, if you have a family member of someone that is incarcerated, you can come out and learn how you need to be for someone that is incarcerated. Every second and fourth Monday of the month, we have what we call Teen Ease. It's a program strictly for teenagers 13 to 17. Come out, we have food, fun, and fellowship, and we always have someone that comes there to help to navigate you through your teenage years. We are excited about today's program. We have a brother with us, Brother Gordon Williams. I can get his name right. Brother Gordon Williams, how you doing, man? I got your name.
Good.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. Good to have you, man. And we are excited about the program today because you have a fascinating story. And we want the people that are watching to learn a little bit about you. First of all, just want you to kind of let us know basically what you went to prison for, maybe like how long you were there. You know, if you can kind of get, I know you had a couple of times, I think, that you actually were there.
Yeah, I've been to penitentiary 3 times.
Okay.
And the first time was in 87 to 89.
Okay.
And that was selling drugs.
Okay.
And running the streets.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the second time was from 91 to 95. Then the third time was from 2003 to 2008.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so now I would say probably the last time you were there, you got out in 2008. Now, what made you last this long from the other times? Because you said you went 3 times. So the first time you didn't learn.
No, I didn't.
Okay. The second time you didn't learn.
Right.
Okay. So what caused you to learn something this last time?
Well, the main thing was the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ. But just changing location, changing people, and seeking Lord more than I'd seeked Him before.
Okay.
And for one thing, is a person needs to stay established in the community as an individual.
Okay.
And try their best to get you a good church home for support.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, because there are a lot of people that are going to be watching the program, and sometimes people feel like, okay, with your background and what you've done, how long you stayed incarcerated, and up to now, how are you able to do that? Yeah, I understand the Lord and praying and things like that, but there still had to be something inside you that clicked over, that said that, okay, I'm tired. Right.
For one thing, is I have children.
Okay, good.
And I've got married, and I have a beautiful wife that's really rooted in Christ, and that helps me out a lot. I got a partner, a friend.
Good.
And that's another thing that I care about is her.
Right.
And for one thing, we have a good church, and our pastor's great.
Right.
So
God bless you.
Things like that mean a lot to a person just getting out of jail. They got to have somebody that cares about them, or they got to have someone that really loves them a lot.
Right.
And that they really want to make it in life. If you get tired of going back and forth to jail, to somebody telling you what to do and how to get up.
Right.
And when you start seeking the Holy Spirit, which helps you a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And get you a good job and have you a job that's something that you like to do.
Exactly.
And that way you start giving more, and you start seeing the benefits of what you got instead of running back and forth, going to jail, and getting passes, because, a lot of us got passes and we should have been dead.
All right.
Or doing a life sentence, and He never forgave up on us. He kept molding us at the same time. We might be broken, but we're not forgotten.
That's right. That is
so, for one thing, I give Him all the glory.
Good.
And I love my wife, and that helps me out a lot.
Well, speaking of the wife thing, because that's what helped change me. The love of a good woman, knowing that you got somebody out there that cares about you, it helped me to want to get out. Not only to want to get out, but to want to stay out. Exactly, because the thing I think that hurts a lot of people is that when they get out, they go right back to the same kind of things that basically drove them there. How did you handle not going back to the same people, places, and things? How did you handle that?
Well, I got out in Texas, my second bid, and I left Texas and moved out to Kentucky. So I left them old people back in Texas and back in California.
Okay.
But when we got to Kentucky, I was doing good and staying rooted. And this is before I met my wife, but I still was on both sides of the fence.
Okay.
And you can't serve two.
That's right.
And so I was out running the streets, and I had my own business, and I should have been at home. So I came out one night and I got jacked,
Wow.
Ended up in trauma. Well, when I went to trauma, they woke me up, they shook me, and they said, "Mr. Williams, someone's here to see you." And I looked up, and it was the marshals, and they said they was looking for me for 2 years.
Wow.
So they moved me to a federal holdover in the medical ward, and from there I went to penitentiary. But at that point in time, I knew then that I had a pass because I was tired of coming in and going out, and this time was real.
Okay.
I was about to strike out, and it was over with.
Wow.
So when I got out this time, I changed again.
All right.
And I moved out this way towards Paducah. And when I got out here, I decided, I said, I need a good church home. And I met my wife, and she was a founder of a church. So we went to that church for a while, and and the spirit wasn't moving like we really wanted it to move until we started seeking churches, and we found Christ Temple.
Okay.
And we've been rooted ever since. But the main issue was I was tired.
Right. Good. Good.
And I knew that I didn't have to be out there in the streets selling dope.
Right.
And so I gave it all to God this time, and I laid down.
Wow.
And it was over.
Now let me ask you this. You did federal time. Did you do any state time at all?
Yeah, I done state time the first time around.
Okay. But the other times was federal time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
And federal time now, because sometimes people say federal time is easier than state time. I mean, but time to me is time.
Time is time.
Yeah.
The way you look at it, somebody's controlling your life.
Right. Right. And when somebody's controlling your life, you're not in control, and you got to make a decision on what you're going to do after that.
Right.
And see, and that is the thing. That is the hardest thing that people in prison or getting out of prison. That's the hardest thing for them to seem to grasp. Okay, there is life after this, but you've got to make some wise choices.
Yeah, you got to make some sacrifices and change the people you're around, and get you a job that you like to do.
Yeah, and this is the second time that you've said that. A job that you like to do. What is it that you do now? What is your?
Oh, I'm a painting contractor. I've been a painter over 30 years, so I really didn't have to be out there in the streets. I worked for a mobile oil company at one time.
Wow.
So, jobs has never been an issue with me. I always put my all into a job, but I still was in part of the streets, like I was saying. I went to church, but I wasn't really fully committed to serving the Lord like I should.
Okay.
And the more you're serving, the more you're going to get out of it. Sacrifices.
Right. Right.
So when we came out, when I met my wife, and that's part of our life is God.
Right.
It's the biggest part of our life.
Right.
And He opens doors. The more doors He opens, the more I understand and respect of being free.
Good. That is so good.
And once you start seeing rewards of being free, it don't make you want to go back.
That's good.
Or hang around the bad people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Good.
I give Him the glory.
That's good. And that is so good, because people need to realize that freedom is to be cherished. There's nothing to me that compares to being incarcerated. Right. I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy, because that's the worst life that anybody can live. So once you get a taste of freedom after that, you should want to stay free. Yeah. You should want to stay, but there are guidelines, and you are living the guideline from 2008 to up to now.
Right.
Your mind has been made up. You are a husband. You got your own business. Your business is thriving, and it can't do anything but get better. Get
better.
But the thing about it, your mind had to be made up, and you have to keep what the scripture said, pressing toward the mark.
Right. It tells you in the Bible, He can do all things through Christ, which strengthen you. And that's one of my biggest issues, is that as long as I give Him my glory and my time, then I know the rewards are going to come.
Exactly.
I just be patient and wait upon Him, and that's what and He opens the doors.
Man.
And I noticed then that, there might be a hiccup somewhere along the way.
Of course.
But, you got to understand them and see them. And, many times I've been in and out of jail, them were just, jumping, running here and there. And, from town to town and everything else, you get numbers everywhere you go.
Right.
That's what they call you by. You're a number. And so, that's what it's a business for them people. So I don't want to be a part of that business. I don't want to push that time clock. I'll push my own time clock.
That's great. That's great.
And it makes a lot of difference, then I can come home and she's there and dinner's ready, or we can go, she got a date night or something.
Right.
Or we go to church, so it helps out a lot to understand to have somebody on your team.
That's right.
And to be rooted with Christ.
That's it. How long you been married?
5 years, be 5 years this year.
Wow, man, y'all newlyweds.
Oh,
because my wife and I, we just celebrated 34 years.
Yeah.
And see, and I was only married 2 years when I went to prison. And I was there for 3 years and a couple of months, and she was there when I went in and there when I got out, and God has blessed us. So marriage is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
The Bible says, man that finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm congratulating you, man, because I know that helps tremendously to have somebody with you, somebody by your side, somebody that's not judging you from where you've come from, but is embracing you based on the person that you are now.
Right, and that was another reason why I change locations all the time, is because, you go to the grocery store and you see somebody from the streets. So next thing you know, you're back in it again. But if you go somewhere and change up your whole lifestyle, change it and get rid of all them old friends and get you some good friends, church people,
right?
That you're yoked with. It'll help you stay out of jail.
Now, where were you when you did your first time, second time, and third time?
I came from California, and that's where it all started at.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
I left out the penitentiary in California, moved to Texas to leave some of it behind with my ex-wife, and we wasn't hitting on all cylinders. So we moved out to Kentucky, and I got a divorce. And when I got the divorce, of course, things go bad. The only thing you want to do is run.
Yeah.
And I started running and working at the same time. I had a business in Texas, running and working at the same time. Then I got knocked off again. And the last time I got knocked off, like I said, the marshals got me out of trauma, and they was looking for me. But I was tied in with a whole bunch of people. So, it went down the line. We all went to jail from all over. And it was enough for me. Right.
And one of the things that you said too, and I want to make this real clear: running. When you're running, one person you cannot run from
is Christ.
It's Christ and yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because wherever you go, you with you.
Right.
And the thing has to happen to where you've got to make the change. The change got to come from within, because you are everywhere you go. You're everywhere you go.
And my daughter is running a little bit, so, and she told me, she says, Daddy, she says, I still feel bad. I told her, I says, once you keep on having, feeling that conviction, then you all right. He ain't forgot about you.
Right.
And every time I got knocked off, I was feeling that conviction. Or the times I was out there running when I should have been at home, I was feeling conviction. So he kept molding me.
That's it.
And now he got me to where he want me to be part of the way. But he's still working on me.
We all are work in progress.
Right, and that's why I love him. Like we just went through that consecration, and that helped me a lot.
Good deal.
Especially through the Bible study, because we understood the whole benefits of sacrifice. And that's a part. Church, to me, helps you a lot to stay free.
Right, that's good. That's good. That's good.
That it helps you. Christ is the number one.
Yes, sir.
I respect the AAs and all the other meetings and stuff, but a person ain't gonna want to change unless they want to change for themselves.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And that's another thing to help you stay out is to get rooted. You have to stay rooted.
Yeah. That
and
good.
you're getting tired of being tired.
That's it. And sometimes, because both of us know people that seem like they're not tired yet.
Right.
And when a person gets tired, he's tired. They will find a way to stay out if they're tired enough.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people don't know how to, I guess, recognize the fact that they've had enough. And they're always looking for something. We quoted the scripture right before we started this. Death and hell are never full. The eyes of man are never satisfied. That's a position sometimes that man is in that's constantly grabbing at something. You know, like you said, you had a job. You know, you always had a job, always had a good job, but then it wasn't enough. No. There was always something else that you was grabbing on, and somebody's got to realize that the only way things are going to fill that void is a relationship with God. Really.
Yeah, and that's what it amounts to. You know, He's the one that kept me out of jail all these times. You know. Wow. And I'd go to jail, and I'd have Bible study, and people look up to me. I'd go out and cut hair, and I'd come back. When I come back, you know, they were waiting for me to come in from the cafeteria. But we'd have our Bible study. Every morning after chow, we'd have Bible study. You know, and I led the Bible study, you know. But when I left, I had a whole body of armor on.
That's it.
And I got attacked.
That's
you know,
it.
I wasn't aware. So I ended up right back in the same situation. You know, but then when I got out the last time, but I already had the armor on me this time.
That's good.
And then, you know, I knew I had enough.
Wow, that is so good. You said something so very important, and I'm remembering as you were talking, how many people run to God when they get locked up.
Yeah.
They really, I believe they are sincere.
They call it jailhouse religion.
Yeah, but it's real though. I mean, in the sense, it's real.
He gets you in a place there where he could talk to you.
Exactly.
Get your attention.
But then what happens is that once they get out, once the freedom air hits them, the Bible stays in the book bag or something, or stays in the jail, and they go on about their merry way. Some kind of way while you're in there, you gotta, like you said, get grounded.
Yeah.
You gotta get grounded.
And take it with you. And find you a church home when you get out.
Yeah.
That's the main support group for you, to me anyway. You know, I'm not the judge, the next man.
Right.
But to me, what worked for me was having a support group, which was the church.
Right.
And my wife.
Right. A person has to have that. You cannot do it by yourself, especially coming out of prison.
Right.
You know, you need some. I thank God for the people that hired me. You know, and I tell people this all the time. I started stacking groceries at a grocery store, ended up becoming a store manager, but because people supported me, they wanted me to be better. And God places people in our lives that helps pull the best out of us.
Right. You know, and I thank Him for you, and your wife, and our church, and my wife.
But the thing about it is that people like you said, they got to find that. You got to look for somewhere that you're comfortable, somewhere that people accept you and respect you and don't have a problem with where you've come from.
Right,
but
judging you.
Exactly, you know, because we do a lot of that, of judging. And you can't look at a person, if you hadn't told me that you had been incarcerated, I would have never known it.
Right.
Just by looking at you, I would have never known it. So a lot of times people don't know by looking at it, but then when we reveal it to them, it's not for people to judge us, but it's to really glorify God.
Right.
You know, because people have asked me, you know, why you got to tell everybody all the time that you've been to prison? This is not to give myself accolades, but it's to show the power and the mercy and the grace of God.
Right. Just like now, you know, in a way, you know, I'm glad for the show. You know, I'm glad that it's out there.
Right.
Because people would never look at me and think, and what I do and what I own, they would never think that, you know, I got them with my hands.
Right. And see,
I didn't need no help from the streets.
Right. And that's the thing that people got to understand. People got to know that you can work with your hands. You can do something on your own. You don't need the drug life. You don't need the street life. If you just surrender to God, oh man, He will bless you. I've done things since I've been born again, since I've been out of prison. I would have never thought.
Or able to do.
Right. Never thought that here I am doing a program, a television program that's been seen all over the world.
Right.
Who does that? You know, how do you do that? This by the grace of God, because you decide to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you decide to do the right thing, God honors that. He comes up behind you. He put the people in your life to help support you and to help fulfill your dreams. Here you are doing something. You got your own business. You're doing well. God is blessing. You got a wife, family, things going. Everything is going well. The thing that I want you to be able to, I guess, express to people, and you've done a real good job at that. It's like, okay, I'm getting out. What now? What now?
Yeah. Well, the first thing you do when you get ready to walk out that door to make sure that you got that weapon with you, that sword. That's what works for me.
Yes, sir.
And then you get out. You want to change your location. You want to change everybody around you that was familiar with you, what you were doing before you went there, they wasn't behind you when you went there.
Right.
They wasn't taking care of you when you went there.
That's right.
So you need to cut them anyway.
Man, that's good.
And
That's
start
good.
your whole new life.
That's good.
And that's what's going to help you. If you got your woman, you know, and she stuck with you the whole time, that's your woman.
Right.
That's your woman. That's a lot of people get out of jail, and that woman that stuck with them the whole time, they cut them as soon as they get out and start going right back to the street. But that woman, that she's there with you the whole time you get in jail, she's in jail also.
Exactly. That's good. That's good.
So when you get out, you want to make her happy. You want to take care of your responsibilities and be a man.
That's it, man.
And close that door and turn that phone off. Get your new number if you have to.
If you have to, yeah.
Right. But you know, you seek the Lord.
Man,
with your whole heart.
And you're saying something so important, because now everybody can't uproot from where they are and move to another state.
Right.
Everybody can't do that. But you can turn loose to some people.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, change your phone number.
Yeah.
You know, because people followed me. They wanted to call. They came to my job. A lot of the older people that helped me to be in that lifestyle. They came looking for me, wanting to pull me back into it. But you got to be an adult, you know, about where you wanting to go, and tell some people no.
Right. Because that's usually the first thing. All depends on how deep you're in the game. First time when they figure out you're touching down, they want to put something in your hand to help you get back on your feet.
That's good.
But see, that's when you got to say no.
Exactly.
You know, you got to change and get away from them type of people, because they ain't gonna do nothing but put you back in the same situation you got out of.
Let me ask you something now. Do they mean any harm, or do they just want what they would consider helping you?
They consider helping you, but really it's destroying you.
It's really putting you right back into the same trap.
You're going right back in the same game. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people go to jail and they get somewhat more knowledge in the game to stay out an extra month, you know, but that's all it is.
That's it, man.
Yeah, because once you push, like I say, you pushing the time clock. That's all that is. It's a business.
Yeah.
You pushing the time clock in and out. Every time you come out, you push the time clock. You leave that number there. When you leave that number there, then you left it all behind.
Right.
You giving you a chance to go ahead and do your life, have a life.
Right.
But if you come out and you want to hang around the same individuals, you know, then you're gonna get caught up. If you can move and relocate with your woman, you can.
Right.
But if not, you're gonna have to deal with it right there and get rooted in Christ and say no.
Exactly.
You know, and just stay away from them people. That's the whole deal.
It is.
And make sure you got you some employment to keep your mind. Out of mind is the devil's toy.
Exactly.
And so long as you keep it rooted and going to church and working like you're supposed to, then, you know, being a man and being a father, then you're able to stay out of jail.
Exactly.
You're gonna go through crisis, but you know that's when you start saying that's what it's all about, trust.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you pray, he might have answered that prayer right then, but he's going to answer it if you believe in him and keep it in your heart.
That's it. That's it. Now, you said a lot of important things, and we got about 4 minutes left. I think sometimes people feel like that they are not going to be able to make it unless they get that in their hand.
Right.
To like, I need a foundation. I need to make this quick money real quick to kind of set myself up. That's nothing but a lie from the devil. And people have to know that. And like what you're saying, get your job. It don't have to be the best job in the world. Start out somewhere.
Anything to keep your mind open.
That's it. And because the thing about it, how much money were you making locked up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ever think about that? How much money you making locked up? Surely minimum wage is more than what you was making when you was incarcerated.
Yeah.
You know, so the thing about it, sometimes people want to get out and they want to make great money right off the bat. Man, like I said, I started sacking groceries, and I became the best grocery sacker that they had. And I was probably the oldest, but I ended up becoming a store manager. So you can start out at the bottom, but God can bless you to be the head and not the tail. He can do that.
Yes.
So the thing about it, don't try to get that even though the dope man might mean well. You know, he might mean well, but he don't know he's setting you up.
He's from a whole different atmosphere.
He is.
Yeah.
And he don't. The thing about it, he don't know that he's setting you up.
Right.
For a downfall.
For failure.
That's it. And a person got to, because I know some guys, man, and I'm as we're talking right now, I got some faces coming in my mind right now of guys that got out and thought, they said, I'm just gonna sell this. And then I'm out of the game. I need a foundation. I'm going to sell this, and I'm out of the game. And they end up selling it to a undercover. End up doing something, and then they doing a whole lot of time right now.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to sell this. And I'm trying to tell them, no, it's a setup. It's a setup. But they don't. But of course they don't listen. But it's a setup from the devil. So get it right, and so you can go home and be comfortable. Cause I bet you sleep good now, don't you?
Oh yeah, I drive down the road not looking where I've been, but where I'm going.
Yeah, I like that.
In the mirror.
You don't have to worry about it. Even if the police stop you,
you drive right by them now, then we ain't have to worry about them.
Exactly. That's a powerful feeling, because at one time I was running from them, scared of, what they gonna find if they stop me. Yeah. But now there's peace. You can sleep good at night. You don't have to worry about whether they're looking for you or not. Man, you can't buy that.
No, you can't.
You can't buy that. No. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your story. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to come out and share. And I know that you are helping people, because there are women and men that are looking at this. And hope is basically what people need.
Right.
They don't need enough. Sermons are good. Preachers are coming in preaching Jesus. Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciated every person that came to prison that was preaching Jesus. But one of the main things that helped me the most was when a guy walked in that had been in my shoes.
Yeah.
And I could relate to him, and I knew he could relate to me. And that gave me hope that there was life after prison. And I'm telling you, it gave me hope, because some people don't feel like there's life. What am I going to do when I get out of here? And here you are, and here I am. We're telling people there is hope.
Right.
There is life.
And start setting you up a goal on your way out.
That's it.
Set you up a plan of attack and stick to it.
That's it, man. And I'm telling, and stick to it.
Yeah.
That's the key. You're going to have some bumps in the road.
Right.
You're going to have some discouragement. Everybody is not going to be patting you on the back and welcoming you. Everybody's not going to be. But there are going to be some people out there that are going to say, hey, you can make it.
Yeah.
And this is what we are doing this for, allowing people to know that you can make it. And man, I just appreciate you. And I know it's not easy to come and tell the whole world where you've been, but
That's my testimony.
That's it. And I want to thank you, and I'm going to shake your hand.
Right.
God bless you, man. God bless you for just giving us your experience and giving us the wisdom of what has helped you to stay out, and I appreciate that. And I want to thank you for watching the program, and I really hope that you gained hope from it, because that's what it's all about. And I want you to know that there is life after lockup, and I thank God for you for watching, and you have a marvelous